Hi again, folks. How's all doing? Stephen, who sent me the Bachmann WD Austerity that I did a series on a wee while ago, has sent me this Bachmann 56XX locomotive in a similar state of disassembly. He said this was dismantled to try to resolve an issue where the motor would run when disengaged, but there seemed to be an issue with it actually driving the locomotive. So he's asked if I could have a go at getting it back together and working again, as I did with his WD Austerity. I thought I'd do the same with this as I did with the Austerity and make a series out of this. It might only be a couple of parts, I don't know. This might be very simple, it might not. Who can tell? Especially if there was some sort of mechanical issue with it in the first place. So we shall see. So in this episode, all I'm going to do is have a look over the parts, look at the service sheet, and see if I can figure out how it goes together in principle, and whether it's going to need any parts replaced, or if there's any obvious issues that might be a problem. Well, let's take this to the bench and we shall have a look. Alrighto then, here we go. We've got a tray of bits and a service sheet for this Bachmann 56XX. It doesn't look too difficult. I think this will be more straightforward than the WD Austerity, but I want to just make sure I've got everything that I need. So we've got the body, which appears to be in good condition. All the buffers are present. I don't see anything broken off. All the steps are there. So that's all good. What am I looking for? The motor. This is all still kind of partly assembled. There we go. Let's take this out. Might be better to disassemble this completely. Get the motor out. And we're looking for some kind of top plate. I think I need to empty this bag out. Right, so I think that's what I'm looking for. So the part I was looking for is this part here, 075002, which I think is this bit. It goes on top of the motor. And then we've got the motor itself and the socket. We've got the motor mount with this gear. Now there should be another little gear here, this one here. Where is it? And that'll be it in there, I think. That's it there in situ. That's fine. And we've got this bit here, which I think is this part here, so that's fine. Then we've got the chassis block itself, we've got the interior of the cab. Now I'm looking for these and their springs. So there's one, and there's two. Have they got the springs on them? Yes, they have. So the two of them there with their springs. And of course we've got the wheels, which appears to be in okay condition. Drive gear isn't split or anything. We've got these rear wheels, seem okay. We've got the underframe with the pickups and the brake rods. So yeah, I think we've got all the parts, but what about screws? So I think I'm looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I think I'm looking for 8 screws. I think these 3 here are the same as those 3. I think they just go right through. I'm assuming that anyway. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, 2 of these are already holding the socket in place, and I've already got a screw in there. So it's maybe just 5 I'm looking for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think we've got all the screws. So I think we're okay. I think we're good to go. I think the question I want to answer first of all is, does this motor work? Oh, we've got a wee screw attached to the motor. See if this is a 5 or a 3-pole motor. So that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's 3-pole. Let's give it a wee battery test. That runs fine. Nice and quiet. So let's get all this out. We'll put this blanking plate in there. So I wonder what the problem was when this was in position and it wasn't driving. That seems okay. Right, wait a minute, let's get that out. Right, tell you what, let's put all the screws in this little tub. There we go, right. So, just trying to see how this collects current. Right, so I think these wires are supposed to be soldered onto there, and then these wires solder onto the motor there and there, I think. Okay. That seems to have a couple of screws that go up in there, and there's one there. Seem to have, so there maybe is more than 8 screws. 10, 11, there's maybe meant to be 11. There's that one. So that goes through, right, okay, yes, right, okay, so I was kind of assuming that these 3 screws here are the same as these 3, they just went right through up into the chassis block, but no, I don't think they are. I think they're separate. These screws are holding in the motor mount, that screw's holding this in, and these screws will then screw the underframe onto the bottom of the chassis. Right, okay, that explains why I've got more than 8 screws. Right, where do I start? We have to get this motor mounted and see if we can get it to work with it engaged with the gears. Okay, we'll pop this motor in. I think we'll put it in this way. Like so. So this then wants to go into here. That. I've just noticed I've got this bit. I'm not sure where this goes. It's not shown on the service sheet anywhere. So that goes there. that goes across there. Does that go on top of that? Kind of looks like it's meant to. Interesting. Okay. I think that bit goes on top of there, but it's just a weight, I think, but not too sure. Where's all my screws? Got that one there. I've got that one. This is a problem I had with the Austerity, was figuring out the right screws. Right, that fits in there. So I'm guessing that one goes in there. I think that's stripped. So that's running and driving the gears okay. Right, okay. So that won't go there. One of the really poor things about Bachmann service sheets is that they don't show any wiring. So I'm just going to have to wing it as regards where the wires go. I'm assuming this one's going to have to come down there. Or was it supposed to go underneath the motor? I don't think so. So these go in there like that. Guessing that's for the rear axle. It wants to go in like that. I'm just going to try and trial fit this. That'll go in there. Don't like that. That doesn't seem right. I've got 6 screws. I'm kind of guessing that these ones hold the underframe on. Maybe not. Maybe these ones. So what I'm thinking, for what the problem was with this, that Stephen was having, is one of the screws that holds the motor mount in place is a bit stripped. I think it's maybe been causing the rear of the motor mount to become loose and dislodging the motor enough to stop it working properly. So I will reinvestigate that screw. I just want to see if I can get this back together and running. Obviously that'll screw onto the body, I think. There and there. This, I think, goes onto there. And I think that screws onto there as weight. I think that's what these screws are for, I think. Oh no, they're body screws. It's maybe these wee ones. But this is not on the service sheet. But it does make sense to have a weight there. Right, okay. Obviously this isn't going to run the tracks. I've not connected up the pickups yet, but I just want to see if this turns the wheels. Yeah, it does. So yeah, I think I know what the problem was that Stephen encountered. The screw that holds the motor mount on, this plastic motor mount, the rear screw is stripped. So I think it's tight at the moment, but I think this probably works loose, and then it doesn't turn the gears properly. So I'm quickly just going to take this apart again. So yeah, it's this screw here. See, that's just turning. I think it's this hole here that's got a bit stripped. So I think what we shall do is put some super glue down in there and some baking powder, and that should sort that problem. Put some super glue down in there. Actually, super glue might do it. It might not need any baking powder, but we'll put a wee drop in anyway. Which I think I'll take the motor out before I put the baking powder in. Don't want baking powder getting into the motor. Right, we'll let that set. And I think we'll call that the end of part 1. In part 2, we'll get it back together, we'll get some fresh lubrication in there, and I think this will run fine once we get that motor secured. Right, catch you later, folks.